right? I forgot to hit go live.
Oh, that's it. Did you go live now?
I think we're live. Let me double check.
Well, I mean,
We are live.
you still run all this stuff, and don't worry.
All right.
Okay, hey everyone. Welcome to Duel of the Fans. It's been a little bit of time since we've been here, so
Yes.
I want to welcome you back. Colin, you've been away doing some conventions.
And then
We've
feeling ill.
yeah,
Oof.
some illness there.
We're back now. We're good. We're fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and what better way to celebrate Halloween than to watch Rogue One,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So tonight was our long-awaited rewatch after doing our Andor recap. Um, so everyone, we're going to assume that you've seen this. It's not like we're not going to do a shot-for-shot
Yeah,
review.
when did this come out? Like 2016? Something like that?
So let's talk about this. Colin, how do you feel about this movie?
It's a great movie. It's definitely not one of my favorite movies. I feel like Mr. Negative. Like I'm just like a record player on repeat, eh? Um, well, I guess not because we did do the prequels, and I was like, these movies are freaking awesome. Anyways, a fabulous movie. Tension is awesome all the way through. It keeps you hooked. Um, I think again, just like Andor at the time, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I needed as a Star Wars fan. So I think there's always just kind of been like a baseline level of hate for it. Mind you, I've never sat down in a setting like this and watched it like that, which changes things drastically. Like,
Okay, so let's look at it this way, because this is our Duel of the Fans, and even though we are friends, we sometimes don't see eye to eye on Star Wars, and it's
yeah,
fun to kind of to delve into that. Now, when we were watching Andor, there were certain things you're like, this makes Star Wars to me. You're like
yeah,
space battles and lightsabers, and does Rogue One not kind of scratch some of those or check some of those boxes and like scratch that itch?
definitely,
Like,
yeah.
that's one of Vader's coolest, like most iconic scenes, isn't it?
At the
Like,
up to the time, that was like at the time of when the movie released, I think that was probably the coolest we'd seen Vader. Like wrecking that hallway of rebels and like also just the presence, the stoicism, like the fear that he gives off when
yeah,
the rebels see him, like all of that was nailed to perfection. Seeing him in the back to chamber was cool
yeah,
till we got Kenobi. Now that
yeah.
feels very lackluster.
But at the time, and we talked about it. I like that you didn't see his face. It was more of just like it's this person. He's not Anakin anymore. It's not about what he looks like. It's the Vader. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
I feel like that would have been cool if we hadn't seen the prequels. Then
well,
you're
okay, so
like,
this
then you're like, oh,
is
who is that dude, right?
you have to
But
laugh.
we know
This
who
is
it
a
is.
prequel to Episode 4
Yeah,
without being a sequel necessarily to the prequels, which it also is.
yeah,
Like, there's characters like Bail Organa is in it
yeah.
on Mothma. There are characters from Episode 3 that come over, but this very much feels like a prequel to Episode 4 more
And
than
they do
anything.
a really good job at tying them together. Like that ending, phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's very well written. Another thing I want to point out is how amazing they made Star Wars look. I
Okay,
feel like
so that's
90% of the frames out of this movie are poster worthy. And that's something to be recognized in itself. Like I think every single one of those big shots, those big wide shots of like the planets and the Death Stars and the ships, they were perfect. They were some of the best visuals we've gotten in Star Wars ever.
it's so the director Gareth Edwards. Well, I mean, I think there were some rewrites or something, so he didn't get full whatever the situation is. He does big in movies, like you really feel the scale.
Yeah,
We talked about this, yeah, like seeing the Death
it's
Star
insane.
against the planets, you feel the size of it. You feel the scale of like the attack and like like Alderaan just blows up in Episode 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like just a fraction of the power we see. Like what happens planet side
So
twice
I have a question for you. How come the planet didn't blow up
because he said he used a tenth of the what did they say one reactor core.
on Scarif?
Yeah,
Oh,
same
okay.
thing on Jeddah too. So
Kind
Tarkin
of
said
lame.
it. They said we don't. We literally just watched it. Tarkin says that he's like, don't obliterate the planet, just blow up the city. Like, don't make a.
Yeah, but why?
So later in the movie, they blow it up. Well, they play it off that Jeddah was a mining. There was a mining accident or whatever. But you
Yeah,
also heard that it was the last remnants of the Jedi.
yeah,
So like for them, it's like, hey, we can test this weapon and blow this thing up, and it serves the purpose of getting rid of this place, which we want to get rid of anyways.
yeah. But why not blow up the planet?
What's the need to blow up the planet? Like blowing up the planet is too hard to explain. They said that. They said that
Excuse me.
it would get other planets or other members of the Senate like aware of what was going on.
So, but like, how do you test the weapon without testing the weapon?
It tends to, one reactor.
I guess.
If it does like 10 times this, okay, it's gonna blow up a. So hey, they finally did. They did it on Alderaan, and what happened immediately after these on Alderaan? The rebels attacked it the
Yeah,
Yavin 4, and they blew it up.
fair enough.
Right.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that one.
So okay, so let's because there's so many specifics to talk about, but let's break it down into this. So you love the story, great,
Yeah.
good story. It was kind of cut up a little bit. I enjoyed it as well. I think it was very tight. It was good. Characters. I think everyone is almost a perfect fit except for Chirrut.
Yeah,
We talked about this, the blind guardian of the will. I feel like his comedic overtones or undertones, I'm sorry, were unneeded.
yeah,
Like K2SO is funny enough as is. You could have just been blind and very stoic, and you could have had him be like, he really wants to be a Jedi. He should be a Jedi, and he's very like proud and he's very quiet and like you said, the stoicism, like, and he's
yeah.
just, you know what I mean.
I totally agree with that.
Instead, some of the comedic blows, like "How's your foot?" You know what I mean? It's like that takes away from. You should just dispatch those stormtroopers and then like,
Yeah,
wow, this guy's not messing around.
and like, if he is trying to or wants to be a Jedi, tries to be a Jedi, being disrespectful to the dudes you just murked is probably not the way to go about. Like, it just doesn't feel. It doesn't fit. None of it
Yeah.
fits at the.
So
And like every time he says something, it doesn't fit.
I will give you that. We talked about it during the movie. I think he's probably and like the actor's good and like the roles in there. Like I think there's an edit where you could just kind of cut out some of his
Yeah,
wanky dialogue and just
yeah,
streamline it and he'd
definitely.
be a little bit more, you know, just tighter as a character.
Yeah.
I do like everyone, Jyn Erso to Andor, who got his own series. Like I was excited to see like Melshi. I was like,
Mm.
okay, cool, it's Melshi from the.
I know you said that like 20
I was
times.
so excited.
Melchi's his favorite character in Star
It's
Wars.
no, but to me, it's neat to see the turnovers. There's a character from Game of Thrones. He plays one of the rebel commanders that you also see. I think in episodes 4 or 5. Like there's good tie-overs. They are tie-ins. General Syndulla, they make reference to Rebels.
Yep.
You see C3PO and R2D2, so another tie-in to like the rest of the world.
I think Andor still doesn't deserve a series.
I forget about that.
Like
Look,
as good as it was,
but
I still don't feel he
it's
deserves
just
a
it's like
series.
this movie. To me, this is the perfect Star Wars sequel that we need. You can cut this and like this to me is like the sequels were a mess, right? We all agree.
Yeah.
We all agree. Everyone agrees. All agree sequels were a mess. This was like the perfect way to make a sequel to
A
like a New Hope,
prequel,
right?
sequel,
Like it
middleman.
nestles right in there perfectly.
Yeah.
Doesn't change the lore too much. It doesn't like mess with anything, but it's just nice and it's a good story and it fits in. It looks the part. It sounds the part. The sound design's amazing. Um, the guy who did the sound for this, the theme is amazing, but the guy who did the sound is also the guy who did the sound for the Batman, the new one that came out.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, that one. Michael Jason.
It's the best Batman movie, eh?
It's a good one, but like he's also directed uh the Penguin. So it's just neat, like going
Okay.
back and watching and seeing the people behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the movie is good, dude. I do. Again, I just like Andor, I'm not gonna go back and rewatch it like I do any of the
Okay, with that
like.
that this is a different movie. Like you could just put on like Phantom Menace when you're in the store and like have it running in the background and
Yeah,
like it's on.
yeah,
This is a sit down. Like
yeah. Good point. Okay.
when we sat down and watched Phantom Menace, it was even better, though, right? Like they all kind of have their moments. I think if you can give like Rogue One its chance, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Like there are things in hindsight, I think they could have tweaked or done a little differently.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, like it's entertaining. Like
I think
popcorn Star Wars flick.
Krennic is not big enough or intimidating enough bad guy either. Like he's decent, but like Tarkin would have been better. You
But
know, like
but I think that's the point why they did that. They show you that he's ineffective and how powerful Tarkin is and Vader is.
yeah,
That like Krennic is he just scrambling. It's like we see in Andor. They're all just scrambling for positions and power.
yeah,
You know what I mean? He really is weak when it comes down to it. Like he does nothing. And I think that's kind of neat. He's just a villain that's all like because you don't need someone to out villain Tarkin or out villain Vader. Like those are the
the
you know what
guys.
I mean?
I just feel like to have a really, really good movie, you need a really, really good bad guy.
Okay, so you think the bad guy could have been better.
The bad guy could have been better. Light some more lightsabers. Because I'm stubborn. That would have made it more entertaining. But it's also at a time where there is no lightsabers, so I
Right?
understand. Like,
Like would it could you have rewritten it to have like cheer it be a Jedi from Order 66?
why couldn't he have just like found a saber somewhere and like used it in that end fight? And like, I am one with the Force, and the Force is one with me, and boom, I got a lightsaber, and now I'm gonna wreck some
Okay, how about
friggin'
this? How about this?
stormtroopers, and then Vader goes, no, like that
Okay,
would have
so
been
wait.
cool.
Let's keep it the way it is. Everything right up to the part of the beach, and he draws, like the kind of his staff had like that metal thing, and he draws something from his belt. So instead of walking out into laser fire, he draws something from his belt. He takes the thing off the top of his staff. His character, his like co-partner or whatever, Boz looks at him and goes like, "No, no, hunt you!" Like, you know what I mean? And like he puts it on
Oh,
and twists it. And it's like the cane, like it's a lightsaber.
yeah.
He goes out into it and
Oh,
he
that'd
does
be
it. You know what I mean?
cool.
And he's like struck down on the beach or whatever. But like, and it turns out like yeah, he was maybe a failed apprentice or an Order 66
That'd be
survivor or
cool.
something because it happens along those lines. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
You could have done that. And I mean, like they're bringing back a lot of Jedi now, so there are a lot of complaints that people talk about is like Order 66 doesn't feel as valid because so many Jedi survived.
That makes
It's
sense.
a big galaxy. It's
Yeah.
easy that like a few people survive.
Yeah.
Could have been cool, yeah. You could have just played him up as like a fallen Jedi. Maybe that's why he was blinded too. I know we're getting into Rebels territory with Kana, but like you could have just said, yeah, he was a survivor, blinded, and
Maybe Kanan's inspiration came from this. When
so
did this come out after Rebels or before Rebels? Or do you not know? Chat, look it up for us.
before because this is the Death Star plans. This leads right into New
Like in
Hope.
canon, yeah, but
Yeah.
when were they released?
Oh, Rebels, I believe came first.
Yeah, okay. Maybe his inspiration was from
Because
Kanan.
that's why they reference General Syndulla. And
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Well, never mind, chat. Ryan, out Star Wars this there.
I really the entire time I was super excited watching this. I'm like doing the the Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
like pointing stuff. Like there's so many good little I don't know. Um, this one really gives me a war vibe, like Star Wars. Like you really feel like
This
there's a
was, yeah.
Vietnam battle. Like they're wearing Vietnam era flak vests, like the rebels are. Um, they're made to look like the um Americans at the time. Like it's cool, like the jungle fighting. It's just interesting. I
I
was really enthralled. Like the entire time, I'm excited.
They definitely did a really good job with that. Like
Death is
100,
permanent.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm just so excited. I'm just wound up. Chat, I
That's
love Rogue
good.
One.
That's
I'm
good. Keep it going,
passionate about
bro.
this. Like it's very tough. I know they're trying to keep Star Wars in like the sweet spot of like just before A New Hope or just after Return of the Jedi. I think there's lots of time in between. Like
Well,
why
there's
don't we
lots of time in the galaxy. Like we don't even have to be in the Skywalker era.
but if you want to do this universe, this timeline, why don't you just set a story in between um Empire
Why is
and
everything got to
Return?
be OT? Let's go do some
It's a familiar
prequel
timeline.
stuff.
It's a familiar timeline, so
Let's go
people
do
like
some prequel stuff. Give
we
us Anakin and
I don't think
Obi-Wan
I don't think
in
they're gonna do
between
prequel
episode
stuff.
1 and
Look at
2.
Acolyte. Acolyte is prequel and it bombed.
Yeah, well, that's because the fans
Look at
suck.
Andor. Andor is right in the spot original.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, so we're gonna do an Andor recap also slash discussion about the Ray movie. The writer left. So the writer from the Ray movie that was coming out in 2026, he's one of the writers of Peaky Blinders. He has exited the project. Disney needs to just not make this movie. Disney needs to stop committing to projects just to commit to projects for their quarterly or whatever reason, and like let someone cook. Like
Who
Rogue One is a good movie. I think it could have been even better had they just let Gareth Edwards just
do his thing?
yeah.
Wasn't Taika Waititi supposed to get a movie?
Yes. So I don't know if you have I sent you if you can pull up your messenger here, I sent you a list of
Can't.
all the
It's over
canceled that is correct. I'll pull it up here.
there. Right.
All the canceled projects. And it's like Disney just keeps essentially promoting and agreeing to all these projects and then just canceling them. So Josh Trank was going to do a Boba Fett movie. That's gone.
Go on.
Patty Jenkins was going to do Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
No more. Taika Waititi was going to do an Untitled movie. No more. Binoff and Weiss. So those were the guys from Game of Thrones. They essentially killed the last season of Game of Thrones to get ready for Star Wars, and now their trilogy is no more. Damon Lindelof. Um, what would he be known for? Damon Lindelof. I think he did Watchmen. He had a series, and then James Mangold. Um, he's the one. So that's the Origins of the Force movie. So that was the other movie that we talked about they were going to make. There's been no news on it. That was one that's like the prequel.
They went hard on cancellations, eh?
They're just not doing anything. So like
Why?
because they're not making good stuff. That's a good movie, but it's like it's totally like manhandled by the studio. Solo was a decent movie, manhandled by the studio,
Everyone hated Solo. I didn't mind it.
right?
Like there was terrible parts of it, but there's terrible parts of all Disney Star Wars.
So what do I want to see in Star Wars? That was pretty cool. Give me more like it's rebels versus imperial. It's all like it's the overwhelming odds or the overwhelming force. They're unstoppable. It's like how do these rebels win? Like I just enjoy that. It's a fun like to watch a story. Self-contained. You know what I mean? Like
You know, if I could take if Disney could give me any Star Wars right now, it would definitely be Anakin and Obi-Wan in between episode 1 and 2. Or really any Jedi Chronicles. Like give me a live action Plo Koon episode and then a live action A-list like do like Tales of the Jedi
I think
Prime.
those cost too much though to do like a single episode of like a Plo Koon versus.
Yeah, but we can make friggin' all the we can
Why
make
don't you have a
sequel
Tales of the
trilogy.
Jedi like an animated one like that?
Well, because I want it live action. Like, if we're talking whatever we could have Star
But
Wars, like,
Plo Koon is like, and I used to think he was super cool when I played the PS1 game, but like, he's non-important to the.
but that's what's fun about it.
Okay,
Is like, why do we like video games? Like Cal Kestis, you want to play his story.
so there's one.
So
You can have a Cal Kestis
we
movie,
could have a Cal Kestis
but you
movie, and
have the
then
games, which are the same thing, right?
but like, give us like Jedi Chronicles, do Tales of the Jedi proper. Like the way they did it was garbage. Like it was good, but it's not what everyone kind of thought they were gonna do. Like, and if you're gonna do it animated, sure, but have like give us stories of the Jedi being Jedi in their Jedi prime. Like we get some of that in the Clone Wars, but it's a lot more focused on Anakin, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and the clones. Like I want Jedi stories. What Mace Windu's upbringing would be awesome. Yoda's upbringing would be awesome.
See, I don't know if I need like Mace's story because there's probably covered stuff. I could do like more like an Acolyte series where it's more of exploration of like their thoughts and mythos and like all this stuff. Essentially not being tied to like Skywalker or Kenobi. But it seems like the fans don't want the Acolyte. You know what I mean? I thought that was a fun story, wasn't it?
It was great.
And if that did well, we could see more like Knights of like the Old Republic stuff and like eventually go further back and like because we've killed this like the Disney executives don't understand the in-depth lore and knowledge. You know what I mean? They hear pushback. Okay, we're not doing this. So it's like we're not doing any more prequel stuff now. That's what I feel is happening.
And the thing that I don't get right is like Disney's got what an unlimited budget, obviously unlimited budget.
They're turning out crap.
So just yeah, but just let, like you said, the directors do their thing. Give them the money. We've got unlimited directors, people that would direct Star Wars. Let them do their thing. Let them pump out their movies. Give us a show and a movie a year.
Okay, you're telling me in all of Hollywoodland, there's not a really good Star Wars script floating out there? Like, you know what I mean?
There's a
Someone has
million of them.
someone hasn't written a Star Wars script that just like, damn.
Yeah.
And how it should happen is you should find the script first of the story you're going to tell. That should be the
Yeah.
most important thing.
Yeah. I
Then
agree.
that writer and stuff. Then you find a director that works for that script. You know what I mean? Like they're putting the cart before the horse here. They got a director. They don't have a written story. It's like, what is she directing?
They're like Ray. Let's just do Ray.
Right? So then she might
Ray who?
give
Oh,
her
I don't know.
personal views on it instead of having a story. You know what I mean?
I agree with you there.
So just find a really good story that works. Find a really good director that wants to do this, and just let them do what they want.
You know what we should have just done is retcon the sequels and go and make the books into movies.
I could not agree more.
Man, that's what Star Wars needs to do.
And then you could bring, you know what you could do too? You could bring back characters like, you could reimagine them. Yeah, hear me out. You change it up. Luke has his Jedi Academy. Ben is a good guy, and you still have Ben in like the movies now. You know what I mean? You still have Adam Driver, who everyone loves, as the good Jedi. You know what I mean? Like not as Kylo Ren as this, and you can have Rey as the villain.
No.
Hear me out, because we see her in the chance that she could go to the dark side if she doesn't have the training, and she's obviously like super powerful, and like she's a Palpatine, so you could have it that she's like the villain, and like
Is this the Lego movie?
no, just it could be like a cool what if story. Like you
Sure,
do
a what
like
if story.
Luke runs his Jedi Academy. He obviously still has
I don't want
Ben Solo.
Ray, and if we're retconning the sequels, I don't want them anywhere near it. I want them as
But
far
she could
away.
be like a masked character that's super cool.
She could
That like
be a cameo, is what she
no, she could be like the
deserves.
coolest character, just like Kamir, and you're like, man, this character's so cool. And they take off
How
the mask,
dare you?
and it's a Ray. And
How
like
dare
it doesn't
you?
mean anything, and then she could be in like I'm the daughter of power, I'm Palpatine, or whatever it is, because in this universe, and she knows who she is. You know what I mean? That could be a cool. Yeah,
Absolutely not.
it's just it's a theory, just a
Brother,
movie theory.
no, we gotta go old school Jason, Jaina, Ben, proper Ben, not this Adam Driver thing you're talking about. No Ray, Yuzhang Vong, Thrawn.
See, but we don't need those because we have the books.
Yeah, well,
They'll never
not
be,
everyone wants to read the Legends books
but they
and
should
read
listen.
20 of those books
They
because
should do
that's
those
what
as
it is.
podcasts because to me, they'll never make a movie that's as good as that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's always gonna not be as good. Like they should explore things that haven't been done yet. You know what I mean? Like we have the
Okay, well, we shouldn't have gotten rid of that stuff.
but
And
getting
that
okay.
should
So
have
here's
been
my thing.
part of the story.
I think Disney in their pursuit to make everything like in a universe and understood and everything has like a Wikipedia page and everything's like clean and cut and like universes and timelines, they've omitted a lot of stuff that's like no longer canon. Canon is whatever you want it to be. If you have a book that you really enjoy about Thrawn, about Obi-Wan, about like Darth Maul, whoever, and like that's your canon. That's what you enjoy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, there's no official person being like, no, that doesn't count. That's not, that doesn't fall in line with Star Wars canon. Like, you're dumb. Like, no, you're dumb for enforcing it. Like, if I like these young Jedi books, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's what I had in the sequels.
But in my mind, like that's what should have been made into the sequels,
For
and that's
sure.
where I feel ripped off.
But
Like,
again, they would never be as good as that. And like,
and that's fine.
you know, it's like, yeah,
But that's like saying the Harry Potter movies weren't as good as the Harry Potter books.
they
Everyone
weren't.
says that, but they were phenomenal movies.
The
Like,
Game of Thrones TV show is nowhere near as good as the books,
but it
up
was
until
good, and everybody watched it and
except to the
loved
end,
it.
right?
But everyone watched it and loved it.
So it got past the point of where the books was written and it just went downhill, right? So there was no longer a written like direction for it to go. They tried writing it themselves, you know?
But we've got the ending. We've got everything. And instead, they were like, "That's all garbage. Screw your stupid stories." And Rey is the chosen one.
Anyways, we're not going to
Anakin's
try.
garbage.
See, but she doesn't need to be. You could just treat that like, your trilogy is just like episodes 1 to 6. You know what I mean? And for some people, that's what they want to do. And like, it doesn't take away from that at all. Like,
That's
hey, I
true.
love episodes 1 to 6, and then like the extended universe. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so getting back to Rogue One, Star Wars story. I love it. It is probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I think it's Disney's best Star Wars movie, hands down. It
What do
is
they
easily,
have? They have Solo, they have this, they have the sequels,
yeah,
right?
that's a lot.
Then it's definitely the best Disney Star Wars
So
movie.
Disney can make a good Star Wars.
But it's not the best Disney Star Wars project.
What is?
The Acolyte was better than this.
It's a TV show.
Kenobi was better than this.
I think those would be better movies. I think like I've always
Sure.
preached that
Yeah.
there's a better movie in those series.
Yeah.
There's one of those in those series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But instead of just getting a really good movie like that, we had a TV show to like drag on membership for a subscription service.
The part that like drives me nuts is like there's no way that actually makes them more money, right?
Absolutely does.
How though? Because they spend more money making
What does the ticket cost for a movie? What does the ticket cost for you to go see it?
$20, say average. I don't know, probably more.
Okay, so $20, right?
Yeah,
What is it? We just checked this. A Disney Plus without ad subscription is $12.99.
yeah,
It's almost $20 a month. It's 12
yeah. But
months.
I'm gonna be subscribed to Disney Plus regardless. Like I don't.
That's
What
keeps you
I'm
though.
saying is I don't think that they are getting subscribers for 8 weeks to watch The Acolyte. Like those people are already subscribed, or if they are, that percent is so small.
But that's the point of these shows. Like that's how these algorithms, how these companies work. They create these exclusive shows. Amazon pumps out all this Reacher advertising, so you watch Reacher, and if you don't have an Amazon subscription, you really like. Okay, I'm going to watch it. I enjoy it. Yes or no. There's other stuff on the channel. I'm going to stay on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if it's a movie and it's great, you're gonna watch it again.
Well, absolutely. To that, so Disney is trying to pick up new viewers all the time. That's what all this is, and they're trying to maintain viewership.
Yeah.
So that's why we're constantly getting.
But that's what I'm
Disney's
saying. Like they're gonna make more money if they're pumping out good movies versus good
That's listen,
shows because like shows cost
agree with you.
more.
I agree with you. We've had this discussion on this. That's my stance.
Yeah.
Stop pounding out these movies or
Yeah.
these TV shows
And
that
make
cost so much money
movies.
and just make a good movie.
Yeah.
This was a good movie.
But like from a financial standpoint, like what's Disney thinking? Because
I don't know. It's turned into this whole
it's like streamer wars.
It is.
Who can put out a better show, but they're clearly not succeeding. Like they put out better movies than everybody else. Netflix has never made a Rogue One or an Avengers Endgame. Not never.
They have like Extraction.
They have good Extraction.
Well,
Who the fuck has watched Extraction?
I know, but like they pounded out now. There's Extraction 2.
But you know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree with you. I think
Disney is the movie maker. Like, nobody makes better movies than Disney. But Netflix is never going to not make the best shows. Like, it's just, and I don't get why Disney's even trying to compete with them on that level when they fail time after time after time.
That's the argument. I think that's what it's like. Anything, it's taken them a while to realize. Look at Marvel. The Marvel TV shows stink.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like on average, they're bad.
Yeah.
Like there are some good parts in some shows, but
look at the Marvel movies.
Until Endgame, they were all like really enjoyable, right?
Well, even after Endgame, like what was really bad? Doctor Strange was good. Spider-Man was good.
Ant-Man was terrible.
Deadpool was good.
Yeah, I just watched that episode. Ant-Man was terrible. Terrible.
But it's Ant-Man. You can't expect goodness out of Ant-Man.
Immortals, Black Widow. Black Widow wasn't bad, but there was no like.
I forgot about Immortals.
You should have released it before you killed Black Widow off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, why can't I even think of the other ones? Like,
no, yeah, I guess you're right. They did make a couple bad ones. All I can think about are the good ones. Because I'm like, Strange was good. Spider-Man was good.
What was the other really bad one that just came out?
Thor. Everyone hated
Thor. Yeah,
Thor.
Terrible. The Marvels, big miss. Dude, since Endgame, they've all been like, because there's too much all over the place. In the Marvels, you have to watch the Miss Marvel TV show. You have to watch the first movie, and then you have to watch WandaVision. You have to watch one movie, two separate series, to then go into this movie to have an understanding.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Like Disney, hello, Bob Iger or Bob Chapek, whoever it is now, it doesn't work. Just make good content.
That's like so
Man,
weird.
think about Kenobi if they had just released it as a good movie.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Imagine Kenobi without Reva.
And
Like
like
just
that was their plan
Kenobi and
originally. It was like
Vader.
remember a Star Wars story, like Solo the movie or whatever.
Yeah,
You would have had Kenobi. Would have
yeah,
been good.
yeah.
So they not like messed around with Solo and let the the guys who were writing Solo or directing at the time were the guys who directed the first Lego movie. They were fired from that and like went on to win an Academy Award for the Lego movie. It's like Disney, hello,
Jeez.
just let them do what they want.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make toys and make money. Like just it's all profit driven. Obviously, we're not like breaking ground here, but if they just make good content, it would come naturally. They're trying to force it.
So what do you think Star Wars' plan is going forward to save their ass?
So they're going to do this Grogu Mandalorian because they know it's working right now. It's a familiar IP. I think they should cancel the Ray movie, and I think they should do the James Mangold like this, but just let him do it. Let him take his time. And if he needs like more, you just like let him go. If the script is not there, don't fire him and hire someone else to finish a crappy script. Like just you know what I mean? Stop promising things. Disney, stop promising things to people and not delivering.
Yeah. John McRobbie says we need a new trilogy.
I don't think we're ready for trilogy yet because I think like a
Yeah, I don't think
trilogy,
Disney's ready for a
but
trilogy.
even as fans, because it's a huge commitment. It's like you've heard me too many times, Star Wars. I can't commit to three new movies. You know what I mean? Like I sat through Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and like
Yeah. What do you guys think we need to save Star Wars? We got four people here right now. John McRobbie thinks we need to do trilogy. Hit that like button, comment. We need to know what you guys think Star Wars needs to save it. For all the new viewers, Rogue One is pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it's definitely not the best Disney Star Wars, but it's pretty good. Ryan disagrees. He thinks this is the best Disney Star Wars.
I absolutely hands down this is the best Disney Star Wars movie.
He
Hands
agrees
down.
with you. He says fair. We're not ready for a trilogy. It's
Just
hard.
just give me one good movie. If we got another Rogue One right now, like a middle of the road, like
It'd
just
be the hope we need to spark
right,
the rebellion.
right, 100%. So that's why I think they're doing Mandalorian Grogu. We know it's going to be Pedro Pascal is a win. Baby Yoda Grogu is a win,
I'm pumped for that movie. Even though everything kind of sucks right now,
right?
I'm the hopeful Star
Filoni's
Wars
writing it
fan.
in Favreau, so you know they have full control. No one's saying anything to them. They're doing what they want.
And who all do you think is going to be in this movie? You think everyone's going to be in this movie?
Carl Weathers is dead.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in regards to, like, Boba and Ahsoka and, like,
No, I don't think they should be.
well, Ahsoka's going to be on wherever she at Peridia.
I don't think I think they should stop tying things in like that.
John McGrawy says it'll be the year of Pedro Pascal in 2025. Why? What else is coming out with him?
Jurassic 4.
Oh, yeah.
I think the next season of Last of Us as well. So yeah, he's a
Damn.
hot IP. So you know what I mean? Like good time to release a movie with him.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
he's box office. He's gonna bring people in.
Yeah.
Past that, stop promising stuff because they're trying to like build excitement with the fans, but they have nothing to excite us with. They have nothing like they don't have good scripts, they don't have good stories. Patty Jenkins doing Rogue One. Oh my god, this is gonna be so good right off of Wonder Woman. I'm gonna love this. And then like nothing. Well then what were you promising us? You know what I mean?
It all just feels like false promises now that we're not actually going to get anything.
There's nothing there.
Have they? There's no trailers for the new Grogu Mandalorian movie, is there?
There was one at Comic Con. It was like a teaser. Find it online. Maybe I sent it to you. See if it would.
I feel like we definitely watched that, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we did a video on it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Did we do?
He's in the snow on a hat, an ATS. Okay,
Maybe
so an AT-AT is how you say the big one. How do you say the small one? Like an AT?
ATST?
Yeah, how do you say like an AT?
No, it's an ATST.
It's not an AT-AT, it's an AT-AT.
It's an ATAT.
It's an AT-AT.
No, it's an
See, there's a
ATAT.
generational gap. I'm old school, it's AT-AT, but it's an AT-AT.
You're getting some compliments on your new layout here. Room looks amazing. Thanks,
Oh,
John.
who's this?
John McRobbie.
Oh, thank you. We are more in a theater vibe these days, so maybe in a few weeks we'll show you guys when it's all finished up.
Maybe like a theater review or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a watch party for a movie.
If you guys are here, hit that like button. We appreciate it.
I'd love to do a watch party and do like the Ewoks adventure because I don't think we'd get like taken down for that. But, like the Ewok adventure would be really bad, real bad.
Anyways, um, might as well do the holiday special while we're at it too, right?
It's just the holiday special to me is just really boring.
Dude, the Ewok Adventure is gonna be worse
But
than
like
the holiday
I think like
special.
the Ewok adventures is just gonna be bad, but like there's gonna be a lot happening and it's just bad. You know what I mean? The Star Wars special is just like watching bad Wookiee costumes, like people just like make Wookiee sounds for like those. You know what I mean? It's just empty space and
Can you
like
make Wookiee sounds? Yeah,
not
me
really.
neither. I used to have a buddy who could really do it like pretty good. And yeah, I could never do it.
Yeah, well, I could try. Yeah. So again, thank you guys for joining us. So we've got some holidays coming up. We want to get some ideas from the fans of what
What
we
should we
should
do
be.
next?
Yeah. What do you guys want to see? We could do some more movie
I
reviews.
mean,
It could be.
episode 4 is.
I know. We could save it though. My thought is like for New Hope for like a new year. Um, we could also do. I know we're Duel the fans, but if there's other things that people recommend we watch that might be good science fiction movies or Star Wars related or pay homage, like anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't mind doing an episode on like Deadpool and Wolverine. I just watched that recently and I finally have some opinions on it.
Dude, so good, right?
I enjoyed it.
Maybe we did do an episode on that.
You know what I mean? So
Let us know, guys. Hit that like button if you're here. Subscribe if you're new. If you're watching this after, we appreciate you. We get together every Tuesday around this time.
yep.
It all just depends on
This
when
one
the
ran a
movie
little bit
ends and
late. We
everything.
forgot how long it actually was. It's a
Yeah,
long movie. We need a
definitely.
little intermission break there, but
Getting some likes in the chat. John McRobbie says he'd love a Deadpool Wolverine movie review, so that's good. So let us know. Wrap it up here for the night.
yeah. Like Colin said, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate your time. Give us some opinions. We check our comments and our messages. So, anything you want us to watch, any suggestions, games to play, anything like that. Like I said, hopefully in the new year we can do some watch parties with everyone. Would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, thank you guys again for joining us. So final thoughts. I love Rogue One, best Disney Star Wars to date, best Disney Star Wars movie to date. Let's hope Mandalorian and Grogu does it.
Better than I thought. Not the best Disney Star Wars to date. We'll let you know what we're
Are you
doing next week.
team Colin or team Ryan on this one?
Everybody's
What
team
is
Ryan.
what is your
Pretty
thought on
predict
Andor?
that.
So come on, like I want to hear the comments. So
Yeah, I can
let us know.
pre-predict that.
Hey,
All
thank
right.
you guys. Have a
Have a
wonderful
good
evening.
night.
We'll talk.